shit take patience, but sometimes I get impatient. I'm better when I'm chillin', please don't get me Kanye crazy. My life's a movie, cameras always rolling.
Deji Conway, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions and you answer them at the best of your knowledge.
Of course.
What does one need to write a book?
So, first of all, this is also with life too. This is something that a lot of people ask me a lot, especially a lot of aspiring writers and authors. You have to have a why. People ask me like, what is your why? My why is, I feel like as a black man, especially indulged with black culture, you know, black living and lifestyles, that education is the most important.
Deji Conway, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions and answer them to the best of your knowledge.
For sure.
A message you could give to the up-and-coming people starting to write books for the first time.
A message I can give them? The best message is to don't worry about the industry rules. Don't worry about editors. Don't worry about other writers. Focus solely on yourself and your message, because at the end of the day, any artist, any creative, anybody can tell you this. It's when you start out, it's always gonna be somebody that says like, oh, that's not gonna work, or that's not how it works, or that's not industry standard. Keep doing what you're doing, because you want the world to catch up to you. You don't want to catch up with the world. You want to be of the world, but not in the world. Best advice I can give. That's empowering my career. Definitely.
What's the impact of books on the world?
The impacts of books in the world is, it's a stamp of history. My whole catalog is me basically documenting my life. And I feel like personally, for me, when I wake up every day, and why I'm so motivated to just write, is because that every moment of my life, not only am I documenting it, but I'm also sharing portions of my life to people who I don't even know. And the fact that somebody who doesn't even know me say, hey man, your books are great, or your books saved my life, that's the best. That's worth more than money. That's worth more than money. A life is always worth more than money. So it just keeps me going.
If books wasn't in this world, what would the world be like?
Turmoil. Nobody has anything to reference. The biggest thing about life and even art is that no matter what, people always need something to reference. So for example, a life experience is why experiences are so important, because it's like if you experience something one time, that's your reference. When you have a reference of something, you can make, the next time you meet it, you have a different angle of approaching it. So books are a great reference of history, life, and innovation.
Money or books, and why?
What do you asking? Is it about making money or making books?
If you have to choose money or books,
you know,
why? Which one? Why?
This is a great thing. I wrote an article about this on the NYC Daily Post, and if I'm not mistaken, the question was, if money was no object, what would you do for the rest of your life? If money was no object, what I would do for the rest of my life is write books. The reason why is because it's like, for me, I don't know about generally, but it's the highest form of self-expression. Also, you don't need permission to write a book. When it comes to films, music, dancing, a job, even a 9 to 5, you always need permission, or you have to actually like seek out somebody's approval to do it. With a book, you don't have to do that. You can just write it. You can publish it, and nobody can tell you anything. So I prefer, and it gives me the most freedom, because it's like the only freedom that we truly have in life. The only freedom we have truly in life is inside of our heads. You can make anything in your head. So if I can make anything in my head and put it on paper and give it out to the world, I'd rather write books.
How are you connected to God through your books?
I'm connected to God through my books simply because of, one of my childhood friends passing, which I stated earlier in the interview. It was heartfelt. The reason being it was heartfelt is because, like, one, you died at such a young age, and people always ask me why you work so hard. It's like, he only lived for 15 years of his life. So if I'm waking up every day, it's like I got time, but I don't got time, and I'm 25. I think about it like the next moment I might not be here. So why not make something beautiful? Why not leave a mark on somebody? Or why not make art? And art has always been something that I've dwelled in, and also art is the best way to connect with anybody beyond any level of conversation, money, or even relationship. Because art is subjective. If you can bring something out to the world and people can actually see it and connect with it, you know, that just means everything. That doesn't matter your age, your career status, your life. It's always that. Always.
If you could go back in time and grab a book to bring to the present now, what book would you grab?
I would grab Mastery by Robert Greene. I actually had that book at home, and that was one of the first books that I ever read fully. I was in high school then too, in 2016, and after I read Mastery by Robert Greene, I understood that you know, this it's a journey. It's not just something that you do and you just get it. It's an actual journey. And in his book, he talked about Freddie Roach. He talked about even people not even in this century that were great. And all of them put in the 10,000 hours. Not only did they put in 10,000 hours, they actually was cultivated and one with their craft. Robert, and also the 50th law and the 48 laws of power. The 48 laws of power, a lot of people think you turn into an asshole, but it's more so you're being more selective with what you do. The 50th law about, and also that's basically based on 50 Cent. And people who've been seeing what 50 Cent been doing and all that, much respect to that nigga, bro. So people have to understand that.
What does one need to write a book?
Streamline and make it concise. You need to have a why. That why has to be something that is metaphysical to yourself. Number two, you have to have more than just when why. That's one thing, but you have to have more than just a reason for one thing. It shouldn't be about money. It should be about education. Education is something that we all need, and you're also helping someone else get through a struggle or a pain that they probably can't conceptualize through talking to someone. And number three, you have to understand the publishing industry.
What does the future look like for people reading and writing books?
The future is in equationism. I feel like most books only have words in them. By changing the interpretation of a book, by putting mathematical concepts and principles in them, it changes the interpretation. And I feel like now people are just dry consuming words, but if you add a different type of interpretation, also make it concise, and also make it beautiful for people to actually understand something logically as opposed to just absorbing things, it changes everything. So the future of books it doesn't lie in how powerful your words are. It relies on how well you can express and how well you can make them interpret something. That's why I created equationism. So for example, in the book, the Rubik's Cube theory, trying equals curiosity. When you try something, you're curious. So instead of putting trying equals curiosity in terms of words, you put trying with the equal symbol equals curiosity, and then break that down in mathematical terms. When you do that, it changes the way people view it, because it's like nobody's done that. Not that I've seen. And equationism has been around, but nobody has applied it the way that I have. So it lies in innovation. Who is going to innovate it? What's going to be the next movement? And another thing about art and just life in general, it's all about even technology. Technology is innovating. We went from bartering, cash, coins to cryptocurrency, which people don't understand cryptocurrency with something that I'm in, but it's like, it make a lot of sense. So to provide a good example is that Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it only has 21 million coins. Imagine if there was only $21 million circulating around 8 billion people. Think about how much a dollar would be worth. A dollar would be worth at least $100,000. So with that being said, it's really just about innovation and about the mind behind what's the next move. If you can innovate it, you can change it. If you can't change it, you can't innovate it. Simple.
Last question.
Okay.
Pt.2, books or a woman?
Books.
And why?
Books. I say books because.
Wait, no.
Let me know you.
Let me step outside so I can smoke.
You good?
Oh.
You know I can just always cut that shit out.
Go.
Pt.2 Conway. I'm gonna ask you a series.
Hold on. Go ahead. That whole loud. Alright, go ahead.
What does one need to write a book?
Okay. Well, one needs to write a book. This is also with life. You have to understand your why. Like, why are you writing the book? What problem is it gonna solve? Who is it gonna help? And also, what is it gonna do for you? Now,
Yo, what's going on?
I had to call. I was trying to hold in my call.
Yo, you gotta cut that, man.
we need this shit though.
Nah, I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, we-
keep going.
Alright, I do it again.
I'll cut it.